This public service announcement is called History versus Current Events. U.S. history since 2000. History is analytical. History is evidence-based. History gets us to explain the significance, the significance of events at that time, as well as the events on the present. That's history. Current events is today. What happened today? I don't know. Look at the newspaper. There's no analysis. There's no meaning. How does that affect people at that time? I don't know. How does it affect us today? I don't know. Current events. Nixon resigns. What does that mean? I don't know. In order to do history, you need perspective. In perspective, we're talking about time. The further we are from a thing, the better we understand the thing. Reagan administration, we know it well. Bush administration, Clinton administration. Yeah. We have some ideas on what unfolded in U.S. history between 1982 and 2000, and how they affect us today, how they impacted people then. The administrations of Presidents Bush and Obama, the U.S. since 2000, man, it's tough. You're going to be talking about the presidency of Bush and the presidency of Obama, and that's based on what little we know right now. In about 20 years, we'll have a much better idea on the stuff that happened between 2000 and 2016 that affected Americans at that time and that connects us now. But we just haven't had enough time between the administrations of Bush and Obama to come to any real, deep, and even maybe accurate assumptions. And I give you the example of the case of Lord Cornbury. This is the story I was told when I took History 1301 as an undergraduate at the University of Washington in 1995. Lord Cornbury was the governor of New York and New Jersey. I think that was like 1701, 1707, something like that. Well, he was not a very good governor, and it wasn't just his fault. New York had a history of having some really bad governors. Like other governors, he took money from the Treasury, engaged in all sorts of behaviors that were deemed to be inappropriate, especially for the governors of New York. People, the colonists in New York just had one really bad governor after another. Well, this is Lord Cornbury. Bum, 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 bum. And this is how he's portrayed. Shortly after he left office, certain political leaders who had the position that we would call today patriots or proto-patriots, people who will support the severance of relations between Great Britain and what became the United States, they started to write letters about how messed up Lord Cornbury was. And as time went on, their stories got more and more and more evolved. And one of the stories they told as being truth was that Lord Cornbury dressed up in women's clothes, that he thought he was actually Queen Anne. And so he presented himself in public as Queen Anne. And here is the evidence, a painting of Lord Cornbury dressed as Queen Anne. And this is how he presented himself in public. And in 2000, a historian looked back at the evidence and published a book called The Lord Cornbury Scandal, and found out that the stuff that patriots were writing about Lord Cornbury were, for the most part, all ridiculous. They did not happen. They were rumors to cast aspersions on a British leader. And this painting was done in the early 19th century. This is the result of all those rumors and letters and innuendos and stories that have been passed around. In other words, this never happened. But this became entrenched in U.S. history to the extent in which I'm at the University of Washington, a Tier 1 research institution, and I'm told this story, that Lord Cornbury, the governor of New York and New Jersey, traditionally dressed in women's clothing, and particularly, he thought he was Queen Anne. That turns out to be wrong. That's the problem with looking at U.S. history when we have not gone away from it far enough. We're far away from the 80s to have a pretty good idea of how history affected those people and affects us today. The significance, the meaning. Not so much since 2000, not so much with the presidency of George W. Bush and Barack Obama. At best, we're talking about current events. We know stuff happened. We don't really know the historical significance of that stuff. Good example is the rise of the Tea Party. We know it happened, because it did. People marched, they called themselves the Tea Party, or Tea Party patriots. What's their long-term effect? I don't know. It's only been a couple of years. What was their immediate effect? Well, certainly this political cartoonist believes that their immediate effect was helping to bring down the American economy. We'll see. We're just too close to this stuff to really know. And you never know what you're going to hear. In my lectures on the Bush administration, my lectures on the Obama administration, do I give a Lord Cornbury story? Well, maybe 15 years from now you can say, yes, I got it wrong.